won't you come closer? You are my fire, my air and my water. I can't remember, how did we get so hollow?
Okay, those of you who've been following my channel for a while will know I built a pretty much analog pedal board based on the Pedaltrain 3 with the Moen switcher. And then you might have seen in the later videos I joined a new band called Bad Pollyanna, an industrial metal band. So I had to really get a new setup, and I needed something that could control the whammy, etc. So I had a temporary board for a while. This is what the temporary board looked like. I didn't want to go out and invest a huge sum of money in a board that wasn't going to be right, so I was just trying it out with this. As you can see, it's a bit of a mess. The problems with the temporary setup are numerous. What happens when you're packing away, these things get stuck here, you're rushing to switch over because another band wants to come on stage, and you're getting this jammed, you can't get this back together. The worst problem is this kind of thing. Leads get knocked around and then suddenly you find them under your whammy pedal and it doesn't depress all the way, suddenly you're out of tune. Power leads everywhere. Yeah, it was only a temporary solution, but it served its purpose by the fact that now I'm pretty sure this is the right setup for Bad Pollyanna. So here's a new board. It's a Pedaltrain 2, just arrived today, and we're going to set it up. I'm going to do exactly what you're not supposed to do and undo it all with a knife. As you can see, it's a hard case edition. Things get thrown in the back of vans, in the back of venues all the time with Bad Pollyanna, so it's good to have something a little bit tough. Okay, so let's have a see what we get inside. Once you get all your Velcro and attachments, instructions, you get some mounts for the Voodoo Lab Power Plus, some power supply. I'm not sure if I'm going to put one of those on or not. They are quite steep, and the whammy and the TC Electronic Nova system can't be used with it, so I don't think I'm going to bother. This is the train itself, pretty lightweight board. The case is pretty huge, as you can see, so that will fit in there. The nice thing about it is there is a bit of room, so I could mount things slightly overhanging, which you can't do in the soft case one really without them getting damaged. Okay, so I've come back to the pedal board. I'm going full nerd with my Doctor Who mug. Yum yum. Okay. So I'm going to put the Velcro on. Obviously you want to have it the female side down, which is the fuzzy side. And measure it out. And give it a cut. The knack with doing the Velcro is not to just take it, all the backing off in one go and try and stick it, or you'll get all over the place. So the best way I've found is to just take a bit of it off and get it fairly straight with that. I can see it's going to be straight. And then gradually peel it as we go, and I can correct it if it goes a little bit wonky as it sometimes does. Okay, there's one. I'll do the rest really quickly. So then, this TC Nova system should go on super secure. That should never come off. As you can see, that's as secure as it needs to be. So when you start putting it together and you start putting the patch cables in, you start sticking it down, you need to take into account your patch leads. Now, these are quite big ones, they take quite a lot of space. These are the ones I'm using today. They're a new type. What I can then do is if I put them in, I know how close each component can go to the other because I've marked it out with the patch. So I know, for example, I can get my whammy up that close to it, and then I can start measuring the cables. With the setup I'm going for, I'm going to take my output to the amp from here rather than from the TC, so I've got these in the loop so I can turn them on and off, a whole bunch of things in one go. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to use my second favourite cable, which is the Joe Bonamassa Superior Guitar cable by Cots. What I'm going to do, it's really simple really, I'm just going to plug that in there and it will sit there. But rather than the cable coming off here and getting in the way, as happens on some gigs, I'm going to take it under, and if we look at this side of the Pedaltrain too, there are these little holes, so I can take these out. I'm going to run the cable out of one of these. It's a little bit sharp, so I might put something in there to keep it safe, but I'll worry about that later. If I get this in, I then know how much room I'm going to have here and how far over I can place that foot control. Which also means if I want to, I can bring the whammy down a little bit. The whammy only needs to be clear, the size of one of these. So I take the whammy up. And put it around here. I don't want to stick them down too much just yet because I'm going to have to take these in and out, but it's good to just place them gently so they don't stick too much, just so I can get everything where I want it. I was a bit worried about this cable against the metal, so what I've done, I've cut a hole in one of the rubber stoppers, so that will just stop it rubbing against anything metal. So the cable I'm going to use is this Evidence monorail cable, which is a single core. It's very small and thin, and I'm going to just make jack leads that are the perfect length for each part of the board. This is about £2 a metre, and the little the little jacks are surprisingly expensive, you might think, but they are about £6 each. So I'm going to need 14 for this board, so it does mount up. So all I need to do first of all is measure how much I'm going to need, because the path I'm taking is, the whammy is in the same loop as the TC electronic, so I need to just measure from here to the drive input of the TC electronic Nova, and pretty much with a bit of give it's just that length. And this is the finished board with everything on. So this has served me pretty well. It's a few weeks on now and I've gigged it pretty regular and I'm pretty happy with this. May move the whammy up a little bit more, which will mean rejigging these, but hazards of whammies, the heel sometimes gets on here in the rush on stage, but it's working out fine.
Begging to please you, won't you come